what was the first COD game that you played?
It was COD 3 on the Xbox 360.
COD
Damn, I
3.
was like a little ass kid. Like I don't even remember when that shit dropped. Like I think it was like I
2006.
don't even remember. Imagine, yeah.
Wow.
But the one I played the most, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, right? All my generation played. At
Oh
least
yeah.
people my age remember that game. That shit was insane. I think that one I remember when it dropped. It was 2009, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 was the
or
shit.
2010. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Right on. Well, in any case, we're live.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everyone for joining us for yet another interview. Thank you. I forgot to ask, do you go by Quirze or
You can call me my English friends call me Quirze, and
Quirze?
Quirze is the correct, but I prefer you to call me Quirze. Like I like Quirze. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining today, Quirze. I appreciate you making the time.
Sure. No, thank you.
Yeah, we were just talking off stream there about how you got your start as a creative, and that it was gaming that allowed you to essentially have that. Did you have any
Yeah.
outlets before that, or was that like the first real one that you felt like, oh, this is something, I got
Yeah,
something here?
that was probably the first real thing. I mean, I was always like doodling around and doing bullshit like on papers and cardboards and stuff like that. But the first time I really kind of like took it serious was when I did that. I just told you like the GTA videos and stuff like that. That's mostly because I found other people I like, and that like kind of like made me feel comfortable. I'm like, okay, there's actually a little movement in here, and I like that.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the most of the friends that you know now you met off of those days. Are they also like doing creative stuff? Do they have like the
Yeah.
same kind of spark from it, or?
Yeah. For example, maybe you guys know from the space Tijo. Tijo started on the same editing team as me. We back in the day, it's called Odyssey. And other people on the space as well. There's, I don't know, it's too many to name, but I'm pretty sure there's other people I don't know that's still really active right now. At least on like maybe they work on production companies and stuff like that. Maybe others went solo, like me and and others.
Right on. That's awesome because I've never heard of like so far in all these interviews that we've done here with different artists, like some have gone to school, some just kind of learned on their own, some just kind of stumbled into it, others have been creatives throughout their entire life. But I think this is the
Yeah.
first interview that I have someone that like got it from video gaming exclusively.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, as I say, there's many others that probably like the same, but yeah, I understand. Like, I know a lot of people as well that started more classically or traditionally, went to school or like, or they were painters and stuff like that. If I was a painter, I probably wouldn't have started on video games. I would just be straight up painting, but I was way more interested in playing games, and then I found out that I really like to move the camera around in GTA 5. That's kind of where it started.
Yeah, and what was the transition like to actually working like with the medium you are now? Because from the work that I've seen on your Twitter here, uh, none of it is really like film or like taking footage or anything like that.
Yeah,
Is this
it
style?
was it was mostly because I started really liking independent like fashion publications and like old books, and I really started really figuring out myself and my style, and I fell in love with meta. How do you say metadata? Is that correct? Maybe
Yep.
it's like as I really see metadata as I don't know. I kind of love that shit. Like it just like speaks to me. It's like there's something in between weird and symmetrical that I really like. Then I'm giving more thought into it. I think what I really like is the aspect of like the beauty, I would say, of a, let's say, like a pre-production stage, right? Like a means to an end. I
Mm-hmm.
like warehouses, dirty studios, and stuff like that. I like kind of like the behind the scenes for me is kind of like my final piece, whether for others it's just like a mean to an end to like a more polished look. But yeah, started looking at fashion magazines. I really like ISBNs, metadata codes, like the USPS barcodes and stuff like that. And I just like, I don't know, slowly fucking going into the rabbit hole, I guess.
Okay, interesting. So this is all done like in graphic design software. I'm guessing like none of it is actually on paper.
It all starts in paper,
Oh, it starts in
and
paper.
there's composition. Yeah, I do a lot of. It's called mixed media, right? Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
technique, mixed media. It all starts mostly. I would say 90% of the time it starts physically. Yeah, I sketch a little bit in Photoshop and stuff like that, and sometimes I do use Photoshop while working on the piece. But it mostly starts out of a scan, like something I did IRL in the studio, or this one. The pieces you're showing right here, though, are digital. They are made with ASCII. It's like, you know what ASCII is? Is like a monotype. I think it's like
Yeah,
a
this.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Those are made with ASCII. I found out like this random ass like ASCII image generator, and at first I didn't like it because it was outputting an image. But then I found another one that was actually outputting text, and I started playing around with that a lot. I'm making weird text. I'm playing with scripts and things like that in Photoshop, and these are I kind of like those. I don't really like sometimes my old work. I think I was really starting out, and some things I don't know. I guess every artist don't like their shit sometimes.
Mm.
But yeah, those were ASCII.
So these pieces here now. Oh, this one right here. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. This one, the first one too. I think it was called the CMYK collection. I think. Uh, I don't tend to revisit most of my work sometimes, so sometimes I don't remember. But yeah, these were ASCII, and the models, they were just straight up ripped from the like e-commerce websites that I found out. Like
Mm-hmm.
in Spain, we have Elquirze Inglés. It's like, I don't know, like many. I sometimes I just go to Grailed and see something I like, put it through the ASCII generator and just play around. It's like a lot of trial and error till it looks good. Well, till it looks good to me. That's a whole nother chat.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because it is like when I first stumbled upon your work, I had a really hard time like placing my finger on what the style is, besides something that I would see in like uh, a magazine, essentially.
Yeah. At
It's
first, I
like,
didn't know what I was really doing. Now, I still don't have like a full grasp of what I'm doing, but I do know
mm,
that when I see something I like, I, I tend to trust my gut. I think it's called in English,
mm-hmm.
and just go with it. And that always happens with what I told you, like metadata and ISBN codes and contact sheets. I love fucking contact sheets for some reason.
Contact
I don't know.
sheets.
Yeah, contact sheets is like exactly that. I,
Oh,
I,
like
I like putting pictures one next to each other on a more like symmetrical square, and then like make the piece on top of that. I just like it.
oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, these are the old contact sheets when photographers used to take the pictures in film. They went to the lab and they say, I want this, I want that, I want this other one developed. And that's how they pick and choose what's the best picture.
Oh, gotcha. And so, what was the transition like between the moment that like you first made your first like GTA video, and then now you're doing this style? Like, did you play with other
It
mediums?
was, no, it was really natural. I was starting to build a little studio. I mean, the GTA thing, uh, obviously, it all started as a hobby, but then you grow up older and I was starting to get less interested in video games. So I actually bought a camera and started running gunning and shit like that with friends. No script, no anything whatsoever, just for fun. And then as I went to film school, started. COVID came and we got on a lockdown, right? So
Hmm.
that's when I started to pick up all magazines and look through stuff and researching art books and stuff like that. And I really was way more interested on the books, like the how do you say it? The the catalog style books with a lot of metadata and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's where I started scanning those pages and trying to, in a way, do a little bit of graphic design. I never did graphic design before, and I still don't think I'm a graphic designer, but I really liked the compositions. I would say I think composition is the right word. The more symmetrical compositions. It's like the covers, the back covers, the index of a book with all the names and the references
Hmm.
on papers, academic papers, when they have to put all the references together. I like that as well. I don't know. It's kind of endless. From the top of my mind, I can't really name a lot, but if I see it, I know if I like it.
Okay. What was film school like? Did you end up like finishing, or you just
No,
went
I
into
didn't.
this
I
instead?
didn't end up finishing because of the COVID and all that. And then I started getting into all these and started making commissions and all that. And I didn't end up. I paid for it, but I didn't end up getting my degree. It was only 1 year though. It wasn't a full degree. It was like 1 year course into. I studied direction.
Hmm.
I didn't do DP or anything like that. I wanted to specifically do direction, but I learned a lot though. I learned it how to write on on a more academical way,
Hmm.
right, so to speak. I really like writing, so yeah. I mean, it was good for that and connections as well. So I get some made some friends and stuff like that.
Right on. Okay. And in terms of
Yeah.
the commissions that you do, is there any like particular group of people that like typically go for your stuff? Like, is it actually like other magazine publishers and whatnot, or is it just like independent,
No.
like whoever wants something?
Yeah, whoever wants something, but I sometimes I mean I kind of like not pick and choose, but yeah, I can pick my sort of type of client I want right now. I usually go with something that I don't know how to say it, that basically if I like it, I go because I learned a lot of the times when I was usually starting the I mean I needed the money, but at the end, like, sometimes I didn't like the what I was doing a lot, even though it's a job, and I've been in countless jobs that you don't like what you do, but you gotta do it, right?
Mm.
But on the art side, I'm like, I really don't want to do this shit because it's like something I really like doing, and I'm kind of getting burned out, and I don't really. I already get burned down a lot, so I don't need it multiplied. So I started like trying to maybe reach out to people that I like their stuff, and I work a lot for free basically. But I think in the long run, it kind of paid out. So I don't know.
You said you experienced a lot of burnout.
Yeah. I experienced a lot of burnout, especially when I was younger and I didn't like wasn't like a lot not mature, but didn't fully know myself. I guess
Hmm.
I was doing a lot, like ADHD, like a lot, and that's not sustainable. I would say mixing styles and like doing everything and fucking locked in a studio 15 hours straight. So yeah, I had my fair share of fucking burnout, and now I kind of look at on a way different way.
How do you manage to deal with it now? What have you found that helps you get through it?
Well, first of all, when this is for personal work, I mostly do personal work right now. When I do pieces, I never polish them at least 2 months after I make them, because I learned that if I like something 2 months after, that means it's it's probably good. Like I really liked it. I mean, it could be like past 1 year and I'm like, yeah, that shit does. But 2 months, I think, is a fair like period to be judgmental on like myself, or like kind of like be critic on myself.
Hmm.
Because when I started, as I said you, it was all ADHD pumping out stuff nonstop, and yeah, like I didn't like it, but it was out there, and I don't really enjoy looking at something that I made, and I don't like it. So I think 2 months for me has been a sweet spot. It took me a lot to realize this, but it's actually a little thing that just helped me. Like just let the piece be 2 months there in your desk or something. Have like a little glance at it, maybe like sometimes, and if you like it after 2 months, it's good. I would say it's good.
Yeah, they say the same thing for tattoos. That like it's good to get like either a drawing of it or just
Exactly.
even a temporary one, like put where you want it,
Mm-hmm.
and then just
Exactly.
having it for about a month or so, and then seeing how you feel about it. Then
Yeah, it makes
get
total
used to it.
sense, because she could be lost in not emotions, being lost in emotion. At least on what I do, I think it's good. It creates good things. But I think like it's the like the force of like wanting, like being on a dopamine rush, and that could be like the product of, it gets out of hand and you start doing stuff out of this feeling, and you think that's good, but in reality it's just dog shit. Like it's not worth anything to me. That's why 2 months, I think, is like the perfect spot for me. I don't know. It worked for me though.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way of going about it. So you feel so attached to the pieces that you make that like just releasing them like willy nilly, it's not something
Yeah,
that's
no,
sustainable.
not anymore. No. When I release something now, I can say it has my stamp of approval, that I like it, I enjoy it. It might not be like the best thing I made, right? But I like it. Yeah, I like it.
So when you were getting like caught up in just releasing nonstop, is it because like you had regrets about the piece and you wanted to make some changes after, or you felt it wasn't perfect, or?
No, it's because I looked at it and it like made no sense. It made sense at one time where I was going like, this dopamine rush or whatever it's called, or these epiphany little moments that probably every artist has, and it's like, yeah, yo, this is nice, but it isn't really, at least for me, right? This is like really, really subjective to each artist, but yeah, well, as I said, it was mostly because I realized that that's not good at all. That's just trash.
Hmm. And so when you're approaching your work now, how is it that you know or have a feeling of like that it's done, that it's good to go, it can sit for those 2 months? Because in your work there's a lot of like elements and collaging and layering that
Yeah.
I'd imagine that with the amount of material that you're working with, it could be difficult to like really have a feeling that, oh, I'm satisfied, this is done, this can now get put on the shelf for 2 months.
To be honest, it's just as simple as looking it and fucking with it. I see it, I like it. It's as simple as that. Like, I'm being honest. Like, some pieces, I look at them and I don't like them, but if I like it, I know it sounds so simple, but um, I think the good sign is just as simple as that. Like, I really like this. No matter the narrative of the piece, no matter anything. If I look at it and I fuck with it, that's good for me. That means I did my job, I guess.
No, that makes sense. That's it's not silly at all. I've had the same um answer essentially from other artists as well. Like there's not really there's no percentage sign, there's no like green bar, there's nothing that's gonna
No,
indicate it, so it's more just like just a feeling that you have.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And so this piece right here, would this be an example of where you'd have like your physical work first and then it gets into like scanned? Is this like an actual
Yeah,
sketchbook that you have?
this is all physical. It's a photograph of one of my. I mean, I really like fashion magazines. So when I go to Barcelona, I go to these like super like niche kind of like place where they sell weird publications, and I try to buy twice. One to keep and archive it because I like it, and then the other one to play around. And there was this one that was all white. It was literally like 30 pages straight white. You see that black gradient on the left page?
Mm-hmm.
That was like going through the 30 pages, and I'm like, this is perfect for me to do something, and I just did these. Some I don't even remember. I probably have these at home somewhere.
And do you find that there's still quite a few magazines, like fashion mags in print, since like digital media has kind of taken over, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
physical
yeah, yeah.
market
I
has just gone
mean,
down? Like there's still plenty.
yeah. In Barcelona, there's like, I mean, I tend to like more in-depth independent publications because of like, I don't even read the magazines though. Like, I just like the formatting of the pages and what they have inside the pictures. I don't read any of these magazines most of the time, but for example, I believe that for some reason independent publications tend to have higher quality standards, I would say, right? And I mean, there's the super famous ones like ID and Days, right? And I don't know, GQ. I would say that still have, I think, a good vibe in it. But I found out throughout the years that for some reason, independent publications of kids that just got out of fucking design school, they just kill it. I don't know. But yeah, I when I buy something, I go um purely for it's purely visual. I don't even know, like, I don't read these magazines. I just, if I fall in love with it, I'll get it. Is good for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that like part of the reason why they tend to be better quality is because when you're at that independent stage, I figure like there's not as big of a staff. You don't have like a building to worry
Exactly.
about the rent for. The overhead is not nearly as high, and so you're allowed to take more risks and use a different kind of paper or use a different kind of film or lighting or
Yeah.
what have you, and you're not really dealing with the same kind of constraints as these big brands do that have like a stapled um like precise method of like this is when the next issue is, this is our expectations for it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but I think also that's something that I works with me too. That I think a lot of these people, especially in younger people, I think having and preserving part of being naive and ignorant and kind of like fucking around just to fuck around with is essentially like 100% essential to make good stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no other way around. I think you have to preserve. That's why sometimes I try to keep myself knowingly ignorant to some stuff because I think like you're way more free, bro. Like you're I don't know. I want to say like a percentage, but I would just like pull that shit out of my ass, and that's not true. But like you're so much free when you don't really know what's going on. Like I'm not saying like be completely ignorant, but if you willingly know that you're being ignorant and you play back and forth with that feeling, I think it's good to keep your stuff nice and clean. I don't know. I think to me that's really works.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like not having an awareness of what the limitations are or like
Exactly.
what the
Yeah.
social constraints are, the cultural constraints are, allows
Exactly.
you
Just do.
to like bypass
Hmm.
them And like, okay, like maybe you'll fuck up or maybe someone will get offended or whatever. But it's like, well, yeah, but that's how
Exactly.
boundaries get pushed. That's like that's part of the process.
Exactly. Try to insert guidelines, I would say, but then look at the guidelines and remove some of them and try to like, work between some boundaries, but run around, like fuck around, try things and stuff like that. Like I don't think you need like the teacher, right? Like top of your head, like telling you, nah, bro, this is not how it's done. But I think you gotta be free a little bit in that sense to make good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Because like if you just constantly pay attention to like what's already been done before or all the various constraints, you're just gonna make the same thing that's already been made. You know, that's not really. There's nothing exciting
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so now that you've kind of gravitated towards this style, when you initially started it, have you seen like a major like evolution in terms of like the kind of motifs that you have in your work, or is it just kind of it's similar but you get inspiration from different sources now?
I mean, inspirations, I don't, sometimes I just get inspired by some random thing, but I'm definitely pick and choose a little bit more now. Again, going back to the conversation with still being ignorant to some things, but being a little bit more judgmental on what I do. But I think it's for the better. Like, I'm not trying to like be judgmental just because of the sake of it or because I'm trying to make my art like being more grown up or more serious or whatever, right? But I know myself, and sometimes since I know what easy to get burned out, I like to be more free when it comes to experimenting, but at the same time, like looking at things a little bit more critical. Like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. You know, like I be a little bit more picky from what I used to be, but it hasn't really changed much. I just still get inspired by the same things mostly. It'd be like so random. Sometimes as an artist, I'd be 3 months down the fucking drain, bro. Like nothing comes up on the studio. I don't feel like it. Everything's trash. It is what it is. But then, like, you get enlightened and you have like a good grace period with yourself where you can really put in the work. You just gotta notice these like little mental patterns, I guess.
Right on. So do you do this like full time now? Like you work in your studio day in and day out, basically?
Yeah. Right now I'm on a shared studio. I used to have a home studio. I still have it, but I kind of like wanted to be around other people as well. So I'm on a shared studio right now.
So no day job. You're producing art for a living now.
Yeah.
That must be freeing.
Yeah, I mean, it took work. Some things I don't put my name on it, and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice, but at the same time, you're your boss. Like you're a freelancer. You get to work it, bro, because if you don't work, right? So
yeah, no one's gonna force you. You got to force yourself.
exactly. Yeah.
And when did you reach that point? Did it take long for you to get to the point where this stuff is actually
Well, it took me,
yeah.
I mean, it took me like, I don't know. When I went to film school, I started doing my first. No, I was doing some commissions here and there before that. So it took me like at least like 5 years, something like that, from 2017 or 2016 when I started to 2021, 22, a little bit more maybe. I mean, if when I wasn't full time with it, I wasn't doing as much art either, right? I didn't have the time for it, but yeah.
When did you realize that you could actually do this like full time? That you could actually make a living off this and not have to ever work, shitty job ever again?
Well, I mean, when I saw that there was interest in some of my stuff, and as well, sorry for the background noise. when there was a little bit of interest in myself, and I grew up on not like a really artistic environment. None of my close friends where I grew up were artists, so I always thought art was kind of a little bit of a fairy tale, which kind of is because it's hard sometimes to make a living out of it, of course, without going to school at least. But I would say like I realized it when I started getting more work and it was being more profitable than just going part-time jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. What was that? What was the last shitty job that you worked?
It was a carpenter thing. Carpentry, yeah. Is it called carpentry? I don't even know. I think
Yep.
it's carpentry. Yeah, something like that. It was carpentry.
Must have felt good to quit.
Well, no, not really. I never looked at it. I was like, damn, bro, like a 9 to 5. I hate that. Just like, I'm like, I think I can do this, and I went with it. I never like was really pessimistic around having a job. As I told you, I grew up with a normal family, and working has always been really like normal, right? Like you gotta go to school, find a job, and all that. But then started doing my little own thing, and kind of worked out. So,
Did it take your parents long to convince them that this is something that is worth pursuing?
no, I mean, my parents always been supportive in that sense, even though they were not artists or stuff like that. They know a bit about it, and at the end of the day, if it works, go ahead. I mean, I dropped out like from school. That's nothing good to talk about, but I mean, at the end, it ended up kind of nice, mostly because I was doing something that I didn't really like, and sometimes just try to find something you like. Don't like quit what you're like your job. Don't like be that guy. I mean, it could work, but nowadays it's so risky not having a job, right? Like, especially if you live in a city. But I would say, like, yeah, they were pretty supportive on it.
That's great. No, that's great. That's great to hear. Because, yeah, with something as fluid as art, I'd imagine for a lot of people it's hard to convince their parents, especially if they come from like working class backgrounds, that this is something worth pursuing. Because these days it's like it's so up in the air. Like you don't necessarily have to go to school for it. You know, like yourself,
Yeah.
you could learn everything from home. And even then, like you said, like for 3 months you could go without anything, like any hint
Yeah.
of inspiration or any kind of major piece, and then all of a sudden it just hits you like a wave. So
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
it's not a consistent or as consistent thing as like going to a 9 to 5. But I mean, honestly, like I figure that's a much more exciting life, much more interesting life that way.
Yeah. It is. It is. It takes time and commitment, but it is, of course.
Have you ever been commissioned by a magazine before to like make some prints for them?
I here and there from an LA. I think there's LA magazine. I don't remember the name, but it was like independent. I never worked with big publications or anything like that. And most of the times, a lot of the work I do are mostly for um, out of Spain. I don't really work much here in Spain yet, but I think that just because I grew up with a lot of internet like friends and stuff like that, so I think getting outside on like outside of the country has been easier for me than actually having work from Spain.
Oh, you find most commissions they come from overseas?
Yeah, yeah, that's a word overseas. Yeah, stuff like that.
Are there
I
any
think
like
have
particular
you
areas?
can um have a I work with a good friend on his company on Sweden. You say areas?
Yeah, yeah. Are there like any particular like countries that like you get a lot of commissions from?
Sweden, United States. Well, yeah, like more North Europe, right? And US
Mm-hmm.
mostly. Yeah. But a lot of what I do, like commission, like it's not. I don't really like put it out there, right? Because sometimes, I mean, I can't really like make what I like. What I'm trying to say is that you don't always have creative freedom, even if somebody's hiring you that he likes you or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
But yeah, right
Gotcha.
now I'm completely going more solo.
Putting out work more for yourself than commissions.
Yeah.
Any particular reason, like, or you just want more creative freedom over what you make?
I feel like right now I took a break recently, like a 6 month break or something like that, and I wanted to just like go over some things with myself, and right now I'm comfortable more making stuff for me. Sometimes I'll pick commissions. I can pick and choose something, but right now I just wanna do me. To be honest, I don't really want to do other things than me.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Have you ever considered doing like a drop with some merch? Because I know you've mentioned throughout this interview that a lot of the inspiration that you get comes from these like fashion magazines. Have you ever wanted to like take your hand at it and like make some clothing for yourself?
Maybe sometimes. The thing is, I'm not really a good businessman,
Hmm.
right? All the business things that I have to handle, I handle them because I have to. But I'm not really a marketer. I'm not really good at that. And already, like, kind of like social media, I only use it to post my work and to talk to the people and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is that for me, it will be kind of hard because 80% of making these is like a huge commitment in grinding social media and stuff like that. So I didn't really want with it. I don't know. Well, we did drop something with friends, but that was way back in the day. It kind of went really good though. It was fun.
I get what you're getting at, but I think like if you just like came out with like a shirt and like did like a photo shoot with like a single model, if you just did like a limited drop, people would buy that up like immediately. So long as it's like like in line with like the style and everything that you've done here before. You already have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mass following. People are already paying attention, and all of a sudden, if you're just like, hey, here's a limited drop, get it while it's fresh. Like, dude, people will buy that like so quick.
I'd like to someday maybe try it and sketch about it a little bit. But yeah, it would take time for me because clothing for me is something really hard as well, and I kind of and if I do it, I just don't want to print some Gildan shirts and call it a day, right? It will be something, or at least team up with a fashion designer or somebody that I know and I can trust to do like things nice, even if it's like a limited, like more drop. But I would like to, yeah, it would be nice, but nothing that I would like to handle myself. I would like assemble a little team, at least, to carry on with this.
Yeah, no,
And right now, I'm just focused on me and myself when it comes to art right now.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. It just reminded me of this artist Palumi. I don't know if you've seen his work, but um,
Mm.
he'll make these paintings based on like photos. where he'll add a little bit of his own touch to it. And he recently
Yeah, that's
dropped
nice.
like a tie that he made,
Hmm.
and they also had a beanie that he made. Yeah, yeah, with, like no announcement, like no
Everything.
prep.
Yeah, I mean, small limited drops from small artists like the really custom stuff. Are really nice. I like that. But again, you still need to know a little bit just how to do that. I'm not on the spot right now to learn how to do that.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. We also had another artist that we interviewed, Louis Cetus, who also has like a brand of clothing of his own, and he's like a graphic designer, but just like on the side, just to like sell something physical, so they wouldn't have to do like commissions all the time. I made a
Hmm.
shirt like this, so I see quite a few artists in the space like doing that essentially, like having their work, but then also once in a while making some kind of a drop that actually features it as a physical collectible.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I saw it too. Yeah, it's a nice little detail, especially when it comes to like more if it's a specific artist like that drops like an NFT or a painting or whatever, and they do like a little, I don't know, like jewelry or it could be whatever, right? Like a souvenir type stuff. But
Hmm.
I think it's really nice touch, and I really will enjoy doing that. I don't, definitely that's on my bucket list.
Yeah, right on, right on. Would you ever enter the NFT space? Is there any reason why you haven't yet?
I no, I've been on the NFT space.
Oh, you
Uh,
are. Oh.
yeah, I've been in the NFT space, but I took a break for it. I'm not really into it because what I did, I don't really like it anymore. And I thought, well, it was first a bubble, right?
Hmm.
And that was one of the main things. It was everything like so rushed and so fast, everything that I wanted to take a little step back and look it from the outside, I would say a little bit to learn a bit more. And if I come back, which I'd like to, of course, I would like to do way different when it comes to my art. But yeah, that's something I'm working on it.
Yeah, because I've heard that like there's still a market for it now, but it's not nearly as good as it used to be.
Of course, yeah. I mean, no, but the NFT is a whole another conversation. I'm not really like an expert on it, but I mean, digital art is here to stay. Like the same way, I mean, it's to me, it's really simple, right? Like the same way we had a Da Vinci that did everything, like physically. It's probably gonna be somebody else with an iPad, like in a new
Hmm.
feature, right? So I think digital also. What's his name? Hogney painted a lot with his iPad. Yeah, you think those JPEGs are gonna stay on the hard drive? No, they're gonna do something with it probably. Like something as David Hogney that just sells painting for millions and millions. If he has JPEGs laying around on an iPad, that's worth too. Like so, I think digital art is here to stay, and the NFTs, whatever you want to call it, like it's at least even if it's a concept right now, it's here to stay as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't
Yeah, no,
know.
definitely not
I
going.
don't think I don't think Sotheby's or Christie's or like the major action houses don't do anything for no reason, right? Even if it's a bubble and they just say, okay, let's make money. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing and they see potential in this. We're still early, most likely, right? But yeah, I think it's pretty real.
No, we're definitely super early. I mean, like part of the reason why there's all these like different swings in the market is because like we're still negotiating like what is the value behind all this? Like initially there was
Exactly.
all those monkeys and profile pictures like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber got one for 500K or the Saudi prince got
Yeah,
one for
yeah.
like a million," and then it just became a flipping game. And
Exactly.
now that like we're on to Solana and it's evolving further, there's all these different applications for it, and it's just becoming cheaper and
Hmm.
cheaper and cheaper to mint these things. So no, there's no question it's going to evolve, and it's going to become like a bigger scene. Like I have some work of my own some film photography that I did a while back. That like every time, like the topic of NFTs is brought up, I think to myself, I'm like, man, I should probably like drop a couple. Like why not? Why am I just like letting this like lie on the shelf? I should like give it like some kind of digital life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, digital art is art as well, right? You just inside a JPEG, you can print it out, but I mean, the original thing is a JPEG. So I don't know how are we gonna manage that in the future, but I think JPEGs are worth it. At least if we're talking of a piece. But I don't know. I don't know much about it right now. I'm kind of tapped out into the space. But I'll slowly get back into it, and when I get more interested. Right now, I'm focused more on crafting my stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you been have you had the opportunity to exhibit any of your work in like a gallery or anything yet?
No, on a physical medium, no. That's something I would really have to think about it. I have some people interested in it, but not yet. Not yet. I have to. If I make it, it has to be done right, and I still have to know what that would mean with my pieces, like how to display them, how would they look, IRL, if I would like have to make it physically completely, or if it would be like an NFT museum, like with iPads on the walls and stuff like that, right? I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff that I have it like considered, but right now, I think it's not yet for me. It's not that I'm not confident enough, maybe, but I don't have a particular rush on it for like. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just doing myself right now. So I say so. I'm just gonna wait that out.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. It's interesting though that you mentioned that, because I've noticed that you're very intentional about the way that you want to present your work and how you go about like producing it, and you're very guarded about your creative process. But the work itself, it's not that it's chaotic, but there is like elements of like chaos and imperfection in it. And it's just interesting how how you have those two sides to yourself that I'm noticing, that like it's like controlled
Yeah,
chaos basically.
yeah. I mean, that would be like what I really like about it. I think, yeah, my piece is a big some sort of like creative chaos. As I told you, I really like the beauty of a pre-production stage. It could be like a finance guy who is an audit, has like a bunch of papers on the table. That's for me the piece, but at the same time I like a little bit of symmetry as well. So if I can make work a little bit, like if I can manage a little bit of chaos but at the same time protect some boundaries with symmetry and stuff like that, that's when it like hits for me, mostly in terms of like the sweet spot of like, okay, we're getting somewhere there. So yeah, it's mostly in intuition. Like I don't see a piece sometimes and I'm like, okay, this gotta be done like this. Sometimes you just see it and I'm like, okay, don't overdo it. It took me a lot to realize that, like, don't be overdoing a lot, because sometimes you're gonna end up making it worse. But yeah, it's just a try and error process, and growing up has made me learn that.
Yeah, because this piece right here, like, you could have kept, the paper like clean, with like a little bit like a yellowish tint to it to show that it's old, but like there's
Yeah.
clearly like all these like different smudges and fingerprints and all these little imperfections that are littered around it, and then at the bottom you have those like organized chunks of text.
Yeah,
You're very intentional with it.
I like to keep most of the work. I start on paper, and usually it started with my hands are dirty all the time from like playing with paint and stuff like that. And at first I was really a little bit self-conscious about it, but then I just say I kind of like it. This specifically happened when I was playing with I don't remember the color code of the watercolor, but it was like a yellow, and I really liked that yellow for some reason. So I just started handling all my creative process with my hands dirty, and that's why I like the smudges and stuff like that. Then I just
I
clean
see.
on my hands.
Well, no, it turns out like beautifully. Like like I said before, when I first stumbled upon your work, I just there wasn't like a word or like a definition that I could put to it. You just the piece kind of speaks for itself, and the composition, like it's really really well done. One thing
Yeah.
I will mention, I interviewed a collage artist the other day, someone who goes into like old magazines from like 40s, 50s, 60s, and all that. If you ever find yourself
Hmm.
looking through those for inspiration, just be careful that if you're handling magazines, I think it's before the 50s or so, because they used
Yeah.
paints and dyes that were
Yeah.
tainted with
Yeah. Yeah.
lead.
Yeah. I mean, I did. For example, my uncle has all the Playboys since the first issue
Fuck
from
off.
the
No, he doesn't. Are you
yeah.
serious?
But like that's like a national treasure to him.
That is a national treasure.
Same with the penthouses and privates. I think private used to
Wow.
be more porn than erotic, if I remember correctly. But I never like had the fucking balls to like take one. But I mean, they're like sealed and everything, right? Like,
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding? That's
but it's like,
history.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But at least sometimes I thought about it, asking him, "Yo, can you let me scan it?" But just the thought of putting it into the dirty scanner glass is like, nah, fuck it. Someday maybe I just go to him and let me take a picture at least of some pages or something if I want to play around with some footage. But I like them. I like when I see them all nice, clean, stacked up. He has like a lot of Playboys.
Well, you could even get like some of these. Like I was looking into getting one of these because my mom has some really old cookbooks from when she was a young girl that I wanted to scan, but I didn't want to put them like as you said through like a scanner, like ruin it in any way. There's these like handheld
Yeah.
ones that you can get that just like
Oh
go
yeah, yeah,
across the
yeah. I seen this
page.
one on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, I thought about buying one. I haven't even checked the price on them, but because I'm the nerd that sometimes be pulling out the phone on the middle of the train to to get the color code, right? Like a
Mm-hmm.
hex color code or something from I don't know anywhere outside. But I like to get one of those. That's for sure. I think actually I'm gonna buy one of those like near in the near future for sure.
Oh yeah, they're cheap. They're like maybe like anywhere between $100 to $200 like USD, depending on like how fancy you want to get with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know one guy who he specializes in like digital texture art where he goes out into the real world, gets
Hmm.
scans of like different textures. So like he'll go on the subway
Yeah,
and he'll get like a tile or
yeah. This
like the
is gonna yeah.
concrete or
Me
whatever,
too.
and then he'll use that in his work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, this is great. I
Wow.
wonder if you gotta say like still like the DPI gotta be kind of low, right? Because if it's like high DPI, you gotta stand still like and your hand's gonna shake and it's gonna be a mess. So I don't know how it works, but
Well, the way that he was like working with it, like he wasn't moving like too slow, but you got to like move slow enough. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure there's it's got like some kind of image stabilization or something to it that can help
yes.
with that. But yeah, I feel like
It's
that would
kind of
be
like
like
when
a great.
you get like a panoramic shot on your phone that you gotta just move around slowly, right, till
Yep.
it gets done.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly. But
imagine.
that'd be great for those magazines, especially because man, like I bet there's some really really interesting pieces there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That would make
especially I'm more interested in the that old ass paper with the font and everything like that natural grain from I don't know obviously what kind of paper or anything they use, but they look old, like they look really vintage, and they are really clean too, so they're really nice to look at them.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I was coming home from a movie theater a couple weeks back with a friend, and I
Hmm.
was just walking by the side of the road, and I see that like somebody left a bunch of like really 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 well preserved comics just lying on the floor, and I was like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? Why would someone leave this? So I picked them up, I go home, I lay them out, and they're like from like the 70s and the 80s, almost like perfectly preserved. I got some like plastic packs to put them in immediately, but as I was looking through the pages, I was like, man, like this is like a time capsule for when magazines were all
Mm-hmm.
published like this, and now everything's just like on this glossy paper.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about that, the texture. You can see the fibers in the actual paper itself.
Yeah.
There's something really cool about that.
I would actually like to. There's a museum nearby my house that is like an old printing museum. I would like to play with those, but I have to talk to the managers and stuff like that. You know how back in the day they used to make the newspaper covers and all that, like individually placing each font was engraved on a piece of metal and stuff like that. That would be really nice too. I don't know. I find that really attractive.
Yeah. No, right on. That's awesome. But yeah, no, one scanner would definitely help you out, because like you could just be out and about, have it in your pocket, and just see something cool that you
Yeah,
like and scan it.
exactly.
There you go. Now you have the asset for
Scan it and
yourself.
go.
That's wicked. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't put like a magazine out yourself yet. Is that like something that you wanna like work
A
towards
book is
eventually?
definitely, yeah, a book, like a nice ass hardcover book is definitely on my bucket list. Yeah, but I think I want to do more and more pieces before that. It's like I want to at least make a book when, you know how a photographer book releases his book when after some years he's put out some work, right? Like or something that makes sense. There's some coherence or something. I'm not talking like one of those like magnum photography masterpiece work like Martin Parr, like a retrospective or something like that. No, I want to do it now, right? But I think I want to do it a little bit down the road, not too far, but like when I have more with me. Yeah.
Yeah, that
And I
makes
would like
sense.
to make it big too. Really
Yeah,
big.
no, that would definitely be really cool. And I also noticed in a lot of your work you have quite a few like graffiti tags. Is that like something that you also did
Yeah, no,
growing up? Because I know that
but
Spain
that's
is known for that.
yeah, but I'm not on the scene at all. I just like graffiti and tagging, mostly tagging. It's always been part of me and my friends, like doodling around. It's not even tagging. Like I never went out to do graffiti or stuff like that. I don't come from that world. Also, I wasn't from Barcelona. I mean, I was born in Barcelona, but I live near Barcelona, not in the actual city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was other things. But if I was grown and raised in Barcelona, probably a whole different story. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole like big culture, especially with skateboarding and graffiti. I think skateboarding is bigger though because we have the Magba, which is like one of the biggest like public spots for skating, and there's a lot of talent here as well. But I'm not related to that ecosystem. It's all like self things I did throughout my life.
Oh, it's the MACBA, like MACBA.
Yeah, this is a museum of modern art from Barcelona, but like the plaza in front of it, like the little spot, is a really recognized like skate spot in Barcelona. There's many, but I'm just saying this one because it's like the most popular one, and there's a lot of talent as well. But I'm not really tapped in to speak about that like that.
What do you think it is about that area, or not just
Oh, there's a
Barcelona but
Keith
Spain
Haring
in
mural right
general?
there. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, wait. What was it that you said?
The Magba outside the Magba, there's an original Keith Haring mural he did for when all the
Oh, this one
how do
right
you
here,
say it
right?
in English? Yeah, exactly. How do you say this was made for? I think it's like a project like an AIDS. Is it called AIDS? See, it's called SIDA in back in the day
Oh,
when the AIDS was popping the fuck off.
AIDS. Yeah.
Yeah, or VIH. I don't know in English. How do you say
HIV. Yeah.
HIV? My bad. Yeah.
No worries.
What would you say?
But yeah, I was just asking, like, what is it that you think that about Spain or even Barcelona that attracted or attracts this kind of like skater or graffiti culture? Is it just the fact that it's an urban setting? Because I mean, anywhere you go, like even here in Toronto, where I am, there's a huge graffiti scene.
Yeah,
Is it just like a consequence of like so many people living in dense like areas, or is it like a cultural thing that you guys have?
I think it's a multicultural thing, but I think from people coming from the outside to Barcelona, I think one of the many reasons is because first the weather, it's undoubtedly really good, right? Having good weather, but for some reason it's just like a big multicultural, especially when it comes to arts space. But if we're talking about museums, this is a whole nother end. But like if we're talking about if you want to see good art, like I'm actually talking about history of art, like Goya's and old paintings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to Barcelona, you go to Madrid because we don't have shit on Barcelona. Like real, I'm sorry, Madrid got it all. If you want to see that, then go there. But if you want to see upcoming artists like that do a lot of good shit, Barcelona is a good place and it's a good spot to meet a lot of people like you if you like that.
Yeah, because the brief time that I spent in Spain, I noticed that like a lot of the works will go over like these like shuttered areas. I don't know if they were like garage entrances or what, but a lot of the work would be uh, focused on like painting on here or on like a random doors and whatnot.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
expect.
like the culture is insanely big. Like there's super talented artists here, like especially when it comes to that. But as I say, I'm not related to that, and I don't really know. But yeah, if you really are interested in like graffiti and stuff like that, Barcelona is a really big spot. I don't know if as big as other like U.S. cities because the U.S. is insanely popular on that, but I cannot really speak on that because I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Because in Toronto we have we have a lot of like tags, obviously like just about everywhere. But the one
Mhm.
famous like spot would be what's known as Graffiti Alley. It's um,
Yeah.
it's like a whole street that's dedicated to giving space to artists to just paint their stuff. Like we have a lot of music videos that get shot here, like
Yeah.
tourist tours and guides that walk through here.
Hmm.
But if you go like I don't know, even like a street north, like here. Oh wait, no, that would not be a good example. Let me see if I can zoom out. Yeah, like if you go to the shops, there's not really a lot of graffiti. Um,
Yeah, of
there's
course. Yeah, if you go to the trip, yeah.
yeah, there's just a lot of businesses and whatnot. Like you'll see them tagged up
Yeah,
on like
they don't like
parking
fuck it up
meters.
like on other places. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're very like split with it. But then you'll see like a little mural here and there
Yeah.
behind businesses. But yeah, it's very they keep it like fairly organized for the most part. Like um one of my friends, he spent some time in Europe and he noticed that like uh there were even some churches that had like tags on them and whatnot, like that
Yeah.
people just literally just did not care and they put their tags
Hmm.
wherever. But like here it's like not a big no but like it's not really something that people do. Like you'll see them like up here, the sides of buildings, like people scale
Yeah,
them
yeah.
during the night and do that. But generally speaking, like it's fairly clean.
Hmm.
So what's next for you on the horizon? Do you have like a new collection that you're working on, or just kind of
I'm
keep that stuff to
working
yourself?
right now. I'm just pumping on stuff, pumping out stuff from the vault that I did during this break of like social media and stuff on commissions and all that. And I've been working a lot on pieces of mine that I'm gonna probably release soon, sooner or later. Depends if they pass the 2 month check.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, just stay kind of low key right now. I just schedule posts on Twitter. I don't even engage with Twitter. I'm sorry. It's like I'm not a fan. I mean, it's like I just see like so much bullshit. It's like it just gets you mad sometimes, and I just do myself a favor pop on the fucking scheduling creator zone of X
Mhm.
and just schedule like 15 posts and come back after 15 days. That's it. but but yeah, like I'm really, I wouldn't say recluse, but I'm really on my own right now. Like I really want to. I'm really feeling comfortable right now making what I'm doing, and I hope it pays out and I do some really nice shit. If they
Yeah, no,
pass like a 2 month check, I'm down with it.
yeah, no, that's a good way of going about it because like trust me, man, like you don't got to tell me. I manage the socials for Outsider
Exactly.
Supplies, so like
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
constantly
Yeah, that's
scrolling
crazy. I could never do that.
and dealing with
Yeah.
it. Well, I mean, um, it helps when you like limit your algorithms so that you don't like you can mute certain topics and words and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
I've mostly just had my feed like filled with artists, so all I see is like art, and I send out invites to
Hmm.
for people to come on the show, or I post like some of the work that we're doing. But yeah, it could really just get in the way of life if you let it, just getting sucked in by like algorithm and all this stuff that enrages
Yeah.
you. And ever since I've like started to actively wean myself off of this stuff and try to defend my psychological
Yeah.
well-being from it, it's certainly been a lot better. So I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah, let's just say I'm a little bit like on a stage of kind of like back to the basics as well. I used to use a lot, for example, ChatGPT when I had
Hmm.
like any question, like yeah, like any question, ChatGPT, ask it what's going on. And I try to like limit a little bit. Recently, a paper from I think MIT or something came out saying that I don't know if the data is like super correct or something, but it was really interesting because we actually are becoming dumber using this shit because like when we have like we don't process the information as well if we take some time and Google it ourselves and stuff like that. So I'm not really paranoid about that, but I like to put some effort because if if I have this like 24/7 online assistant that's like so perfect, blah blah blah, yada yada, right? But I notice myself that like sometimes I became a little bit slow on the thinking side. So I'm just trying to make a little bit of limiting that shit, and I don't know. I don't think it's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what paper you're talking about. They were basically saying that there's a part of your brain that shuts off when you're using
Yeah, I
all
think
these
it was this
different
one.
AI
Yeah,
assistants.
yeah.
And no, that definitely makes sense. Like if you're outsourcing your thinking to something else
Exactly.
and you're not really taking the time to actually doing your research yourself, then yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Is you're not going to have to flex that muscle, and then it's just going to
Exactly.
deteriorate over time. The
Yeah.
more that you use it, like I find that it's great for research. Like if I need to just get a quick understanding of a topic,
Yeah, yeah,
or
exactly. Explain
like
it to me like I'm five or like some shit like that. That's super good. Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I use.
or like if I need like a quick recipe, like I started baking a lot, so like if I need like a quick recipe for like bread or like brownies or banana bread or whatever, like
Hmm.
it's really good for that. But anything that's like super overtly complicated, um it's best to use it, I find, as like inspiration, as like a starting point. But
Yeah.
for actually getting like the work done,
Yeah.
you like you're much better off actually doing the work yourself.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. So right now I'm just doing my own due diligence. It's called. I don't even know. Like I heard that word somewhere, and just like put a little bit of faith in myself and like, bro, come on, you don't gotta use it for everything, right? But yeah, it's just a funny thing.
Yeah, because like what happens when like the servers go down? Like what happens when like if they just shut off the service
I, for
for any
some
reason?
people, some people probably get mad as fuck. Like some people that are like completely addicted to that, that they need it. Like I'm not a scholar anymore, right? But if I was a scholar right now on the era of ChatGPT, that would be insane, right? Because I I went to school, like, and I mean, I left school when this shit wasn't even near complete.
Mm-hmm.
But being a kid right now, I think about it like being a 14-year-old kid on your finals when you know all your shit, all your fucking friends use that shit. I don't know what they be feeling, but if that shit goes down, it's like, damn, bro, how am I gonna pass this exam now? I gotta study, like what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I couldn't imagine what it's like for kids going through school now. But I do like the fact that like teachers and professors, they're now being forced to like change how they're going about it, because like it doesn't matter what kind of
Mhm.
AI detection software that you use, there's always going to be faults in it.
Yeah,
Like there's always going to be some kind of an issue with it. So yeah, I think it's eventually like over long periods of time, it's gonna force the education system to adapt to it, so that exams and teaching, it's not all just about memorization and repeating the information, but
yeah,
it's actually about something that's more substantive, something that's actually a better test of someone's knowledge. Um,
yeah.
and I understand the frustration that like a lot of like academics or like professors and whatnot have with it, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, like looking back at my time in university, like how much of that was just spent doing useless work, or like giving the professor exactly what they wanted, but it wasn't actually like pushing any boundaries, it wasn't really making any new discoveries, it was just repeating back what they wanted, and
Yeah,
it's, I think it's a good thing that people are now being forced to rethink, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be teaching kids like that, maybe we should actually think of something different.
of course. Yeah, 100%. But yeah.
Do you use like any kind of tools like that, like in your work? Do you find that it's useful in your art at all, like to get like, I don't know, inspiration, like, oh, like give me a list of like independent fashion magazines from like the 40s or
Yeah,
50s
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever?
I did it for that once when I went on a Barcelona tour. Right now, it was like maybe it was a year since I haven't went to Barcelona, and I just asked ChatGPT, yo, I want to know about libraries, that like new libraries or something that maybe have popped up, and he actually got it right, and that's crazy. Yeah, for things like that, are really good. When it comes to AI, I don't really use AI on my pieces. Well, sometimes I do lorem ipsums. It's like I don't know how to explain what a lorem ipsum is, but you probably know it, right? Like it's like a placeholder text,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
tell
yep,
him
yep.
to, and I tell him, yo, print me some lorem ipsums, or sometimes I'm like when I'm not feeling when I'm experimenting around, I'm like, and I want to do like some zigzags or some ASCII things or like some monotype font stuff. I tell him to translate this to monotype to see the because ChatGPT sometimes hallucinates, right? It's
Hmm.
because it fucks up or something, and it prints out like interesting things, but mostly like generative feel sometimes on to remove like things I don't like on my pieces when the ones that are like completely digital, for example. Like we back in the day used to use the clone stamp, right?
Hmm.
To like
Hmm.
smudge things off or like remove little errors here and there. Right now I just like fill it out and it's good. But
And
other
where?
than that, like
Yeah, go ahead.
with oh, other than that, I did learn. I wanted to learn um, a little bit of how do you say, I forgot, comfy UI for generative like images,
Hmm.
because sometimes when I draw, I don't know how to draw, right? Like I can't draw. Like I mean sometimes I can sketch and do doodles and shit like that, but one of those wood little mannequins that painters have on their desk that they can change the pose around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to build a little local like running. I forgot the name because I wanted to locally run one of those image generation like AI to print out silhouettes. So if I want to write something, I mean, if I want to draw something, I can do it from that, like the image generated like silhouette instead of like buying one of those little mannequin or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm really interested in AI. I don't use it on my pieces, but I understand the hate it gets. But there's like a lot of interesting things that people be making with it, and I really like it. I don't know. I'm not really that type of person that you can debate because I'm really bad at that. But some things I understand the concerns, but other things I think they can be like good in a measure. I don't know. I'm not entirely against it like a doomer, like, oh man, they can take our fucking jobs. Like
Mm-hmm.
I understand these people and these thoughts, but I kind of see it like that. I don't know. It's like a bunch of big ass like conversation. I don't want to get started with because it's insanely big.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of controversy about it in the scene. Just about every artist that I speak with, I like to get their opinion on it because I mean everyone has like a wide range of it. Like some people are completely against it. They think that it's like stealing jobs. Other people think that it's it's just yet another tool. Not perfect, but it's great for
Yeah,
getting like immediate sources of inspiration or just doing some light work. Um, at the end of the day, like it is just like a tool. Like when the digital camera came about, it wasn't as if or like the phone camera came about, people weren't like, oh, that's it, like photography's dead.
yeah,
We're never gonna
yeah,
be like there's never gonna be a need for a photographer ever again. It's like no, it's just
mhm,
that just it changed the tool. The use for it has just
yeah,
changed into something else, and now we have to adapt. And if you don't adapt, well, you can still
yeah.
stick with film, you can still make like great work, but now you just have like all these people in the scene that are able to work much quicker and much more efficiently, and one way or another you're going to have to change your method for it.
Yeah, we're gonna die. We're probably gonna be fine. And actually, and I also think this is a little bit of a big ass bubble. Like right now, the whole AI thing, and I think like 90% or 95% of the things that exist right now are not gonna exist. And it's kind of like the dot-com bubble. That is gonna something useful gonna be left and alive, but most of the trash is just gonna get wiped away. And I don't know. That's how I feel right now. I don't really be dabbling with it that much, and I'm not knowledgeable about it. But if you ask me as a citizen of the fucking world right now, that's what I feel.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I think you're correct in that, because like just about every company out there is trying to fit AI into its like platform one way or another. I mean, like on commercials, like whenever I see it, it's always like booking you travel or like flights or like hotel accommodations and all that. Like just absolutely like unnecessary. Like I can look it up, man. Like I if I know the website, I
Yeah.
can pick like whatever hotel I want to stay in. I don't need an AI to do that
Hmm.
for me.
Yeah,
So
100%.
eventually, like once the bottom falls out on a lot of these things, as you said, like we're gonna see what remains. I mean, like I
Mhm.
heard that recently, like Meta was paying like 100 to like $300 million as just like a signing bonus to steal
Yeah,
people
to
away from like
engineers and shit like that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like
yeah.
what the like what this is a ludicrous amount of
Not
money.
even like that. Yeah, it's crazy. But
It's
yeah, but
insane.
that's how much you're like ahead of the game if you're knowledgeable about it. You're like kind of like gifted if you know about these things right now. Especially if you're like an engineer that knows a lot about LLMs and how to make this shit work. You're like a priceless commodity to these big ass companies. Mm, yeah, it's your moment right there, right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the average everyday person, like, they can certainly like help like run some of these models locally, or at least like connect the APIs. Like, one of the things that I'm working on right now for Outsider Supply is it's an AI based video clipping tool, so that
Mhm.
instead of having to pay someone to watch these like 2 3 hour interviews that we do, um, there's a way to use like the Twitter AI to essentially
Mhm.
like scan the transcript of the interview and then pick out like little pieces and clips that would actually like be viral and whatnot. Like there's a lot of people that are
Mhm.
making money doing that right now, just like taking video of like podcast or whatever, and then below it they put like Subway Surfers or like Grand Theft Auto or like whatever
Yeah, it's
gameplay.
straight brain rot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, like brain rot. So
Yeah.
like we don't want to go like the brain rot direction, but you know, just to create like some little clips and highlights of some of the things that we talk about here. And it's been kind of challenging, but I've actually like had a lot of help from AI because like I don't know how to code. I have like
Exactly, yeah.
I have basic knowledge of
I
how
wrote
computers
myself
work.
with ChatGPT. With ChatGPT, I scrapped the whole e-commerce web, like a big ass company I'm not gonna name, but
Hmm.
I wrote that shit myself, and it's probably like something that, well, I didn't wrote it. ChatGPT wrote it, but I told him the basics, the idea of what I have. But it's probably something that if I picked up a coding book, I could have learned in like 5 months, right? If you're really into it, it's probably something like you get teach at basic school. But in like 2 hours, I did that I was never gonna be able to do if it wasn't for that, like, right? And I got away with like hundreds of gigs of useful imagery and stuff like that. So yeah, for these kind of things is undoubtedly useful. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, no, big time. Like, and then whenever I get like an error code or something, I just like let it know, like, hey, by the way, you know, I tried this, I got this error code. How do I remedy it? And then it'll exactly like tell me like what I need to do. And it's not perfect. Like, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. last night working on it, and I still didn't get like to where I want it to be.
Yeah.
But like every day that I keep working on it, I make progress, and eventually we're gonna have like this tool up and running, which is gonna be really useful. So like it's great for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and all these companies are kind of essentially racing between each other, right? Let's see who makes the best AI right now. That's why I kind of thought it was a little bit of a bubble, right? Because there's like venture capitalists just dropping money everywhere, like it's nothing. So I don't know if that's sustainable, but we'll see. We'll see. It's interesting. It's a timeline that's pretty interesting right now.
Yeah, and some of the generative art that people make, it's actually quite good. Like some of the art is sure. That I'm like a big fan of. Like one of the big guys in the scene, Max Back and you might have seen his stuff float around. People usually like steal it and post it as their own. But he's done this series of these like office layouts where people have. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, something like this,
Mm-hmm.
which I think he did
These are, yeah.
for Perplexity. Yeah, this is all AI. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's really cool. Like it's not bad. It's not like it doesn't seem like shitty. It actually looks like a really well done.
I like the video AI sometimes, but I don't know the artist. But there's these like weird, super weird, bad done AI videos that those are I really find interesting in those kind of videos. I don't know. They're so it's like creepy, but it's so intentionally badly done, and it's so like nobody's trying to hide that that is AI. But I think there's some sort of like new internet type era of like art in there, and I really like that more than still images. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's one artist that comes to mind. Let me see if I can find them. We've been trying to get them to come on the show for a little bit now. He makes these. I mean, they're very reminiscent of like old VHS type like movies. He has that grainy film kind of feel to them.
Kind of like found
Um,
footage type stuff, or
yeah, similar, but it's very surrealist because like the one cool thing I like about AI generated like videos is how a lot of the objects, whether it's like background, foreground, what have you, it flows into one another and it just keeps transforming into these unique different pieces. I'm gonna try to find them because he really is like one of one. I haven't. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Noper. Or like he'll make stuff like this.
yeah, I find this interesting. Again, like it's all you as an artist when you use these tools. I think it's more how you portray them, because I don't really like AI art, right? But when I see something kind of like this, but it's like so intentionally done like bad, but it's like so playful at the same time because everything feels so internet and so bullshit. I think it's like one of those bad drawings that they're so bad that they're good, right? So
Mm-hmm.
with AR, I mean AI art, for me, there's like a fine line between peak fucking cringe, and I find this really interesting. But yeah, I'm not like dooming on AI artists or anything like that. It just, for me right now, it's been really hard to find something interesting. But I'm starting to see the right artists with the right discourse, and AI could do something cool and nice. And uh, I really believe in that. I don't know.
No, absolutely, and like I get it. It's not for everyone. Some people are like purists about it, but I mean, it doesn't make sense to be a doomer in just about any
Exactly.
context.
Yeah.
It's like why bother?
Exactly.
Like it's here, you know.
Hmm.
Get used to it.
You gotta embrace it. Yeah, there's a lot that's gonna be probably really bad, but there's somebody who's gonna make something nice out of it. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's undoubtedly, I think it's inevitable, right? Like, some artists, like somebody is gonna like do something cool with it, and there's probably plenty out there right now. I've just like haven't never like don't really research AIR myself till only if I stumble upon it. And I stumbled like, I think, a couple of reels on IG, but I think they were one of those posts that they steal and they post on viral pages and they don't even tag the artist, so I don't even remember the name.
Oh yeah, there's tons of those. Do you find that like your work gets like reposted like that a lot, or?
Sometimes I found something without, but really, if somebody doesn't send it to me or I don't stumble upon across it, like I would never know. I on Pinterest, I think sometimes I found something, but I don't even know if I was that. I don't know. That was my old studio, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That's quite the setup you got there.
Yeah, I love my old studio. Right now, I moved everything on a new studio, and it's kind of empty. I don't like go there much, but who knows? Like, maybe someday, I feel like going recluse or something with myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm going back, and I'll go.
Nice.
But by the
And
way,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be like a party pooper, but I gotta go in 10 minutes. I forgot I had like an appointment at -5 at 55.
Oh no, it's all good, man. Yeah, like I said, we can cut out whenever. I was just gonna ask. I guess yeah, we can make this like the last question for your
Yeah.
studio setup right now as it is. Is it like how do you go about it? Like, do you just like go to like the landlord and you ask them to like rent the space and you pay like rent it's like per
Yeah,
month or?
it's like a creative space with other artists. Every city has some. You go there and you rent your, I don't know. In my case, is I can use the whole installation, and I have one big ass table for me and some shelves,
Mm,
but it's shared with other people. So you pay like a rent, right? Like, obviously not as expensive as if you own you're renting a real studio,
mm-hmm.
but it is a real studio, and it's a really big one. It's just like you're not the only one there. You're shared with other people, and I like that. I like being surrounded with other people like me, other people that does other shit. Like, I don't know. We have sometimes there's like fashion designers or even developers. We have to, like, I don't know. It's nice.
Right on, that's cool. Like, do people ever like live and like sleep in their studios? Like,
Oh, you
I'm
can
guessing
you
that's like
can crash out if
illegal.
you, yeah. And no, I mean, you. I don't. I guess if you're a business owner and the police come, who's that guy just in there? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
but if you want to crash on the sofa and spend the night, I mean, don't make it a usual thing, right? Because this is not a place to live; it's a place to work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you can do that.
You ever
Yeah.
crash out at your studio?
Yeah. Yeah. I crash here because sometimes I spend so much time. It's nighttime. I gotta pick the train back, but the train goes like the last train already went, right? So
Mm.
I gotta sleep here. We have showers and everything too. Like, I used to be in one in Barcelona. Right now I'm located in another one outside Barcelona. I just got tired of going to Barcelona every day, bro. Like, I don't know, picking up the train every day for like 2 hours. That shit was killing me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's quite the long commute. Like I got a day job I live like 5 minutes away from, and like that's got to be like one of the best decisions I've made in a while, because like it makes it so much easier. I don't have to deal with like traffic. I don't have to deal with any of that. Like it
Exactly, yeah.
just makes it so much better. But yeah, right on.
hmm
Well, in
And I
any
didn't
case,
want to rent a parking spot because I didn't want to. But if you don't rent a parking spot and you're trying to park in Barcelona, that's like 50 euros a day. Like it's impossible, right, to find parking
oh yeah,
for
good luck.
free.
Good
Big
luck.
city. It's like good luck. So
Right
yeah,
on. Okay. Yeah. So I won't keep you any longer. I know you got that appointment to keep. I
yeah.
appreciate you making the time today.
Thank you.
It's been really fun talking, man. You got quite the backlog of work, and I'm a fan of the kind of stuff that you do. So I'm really excited to see what you
Thank
come
you.
up with in the future.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a blast. And if you got like an exhibition coming up in the future, like some other work you
I'll
want to
let you
share,
know.
like you're always welcome, man. By all means.
I'll let you guys know. Thank you. All right.
All right, man.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you as
Goodbye.
well, man. And we'll see you guys later.